This is the opening curve for today's trading day across Frontier Africa. I am Bosi Nomofai. Welcome to the show for your opening bell. The Nigerian market surged slightly above 1% on Wednesday on the back of the BUA Foods PLC's massive listing, direct listing, 18 billion ordinary shares that added 720 billion naira to the Nigerian equity capitalization. The stock was listed at 40 naira, gained maximum 10% on the trading day. That gave the market total turnover a very big jump, 472.8 on the volume side. The shares of Airtel Africa also jumped massively, more than 1,000 Nigerian naira at the closing bell. A very positive trading day for the second trading day in the new month, bringing Nigeria's year-to-date to the doorsteps of 2%. The BRVM slumped by 33 basis points. The Ghana market was in the green on Wednesday. The Egyptian market added 51 basis points. We saw more than $70 million in total turnover value on the Egyptian market. And across the North Africa, all the major markets we cover, Casablanca as well as Tunisia, also finishing the green on Wednesday. The Nairobi market added 84 basis points. Safaricom shares was up more than 1.1% yesterday. The BK Group also gained, as well as Kakuzi, up slightly above 9% on the all-share index. The Johannesburg stock market finished slightly flattish, 0.01%, but they carved a slight gain to finish at 75,060. Let's get into news making the headlines across the East African corridor, where Stanbic Bank Kenya PMI shows 53.7%, a very roaring figure for the final month of 2021. November figure came in at 51.4. Kenyans are doing it. Got to have an idea how the industrial manufacturing rate by PMI shows a very strong reading for the final month of 2021. The Airtel Africa says it's gotten $159 million from this first closing of tower sale in Tanzania. Is that spam big transactions that Airtel Africa will pump that money into its other operations and allow the tower operations to be handled by another entire company. Tanzania's trade deficit came in at about 180 billion shillings in the 9 months ended September 2021. And Uganda firm has taken over Kenya's Mumias Sugar. Mumias Sugar, which is listed on the Nairobi bourse, has been in the sort of problem with creditors for quite some time, and now it's been finally taken over. And Ethiopia gets its second avocado processing factory for exports. Ethiopia is nudging at the heels of Kenya, which is one of the continent's main avocados exports country. Good business in the agro-allied industry, if you ask me. Here in West Africa, yesterday was the big show for the BUA Group, where we got already have BUA Cement listed on the market about 3 years ago. Now we've got a BUA Foods PLC joining the consumer goods space. In the meantime, the Nigeria's budget for 2022, which is President Buhari's final budget before he exits office at the middle of 2023, is the main focus. There was a whole lot of breaking down of those numbers yesterday by the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed. She said there will be no cutback on expenditure, and there's no cutback also yet on salaries and wages as well as debt servicing. Those three items accounting for nearly 90% of the total budget overhead for Nigeria. The rest is what the rest of the markets and the economy will have to share. Of course, the Minister of Finance also says that Nigeria has been able to restructure alongside the Debt Management Office and the Central Bank to restructure Nigeria's Naira bonds into much of a longer-dated papers and a shorter-dated debt papers and now account for about 13% of the total portfolio, while longer-dated instruments now account for nearly 89% of the headline figure. And Ghana's health startup M-Pharma has raised about $35 million supported by Citigroup in the US in the Series D round. It's one of the big news in terms of pharmaceuticals, which Ghana has been able to secure. A good news also for the entire African continent. And Bloomfield Investments maintaining the NSIA Bank of Cote d'Ivoire, affirming its A+ rating and the outlook as stable. Okay, let's get into Southern African market, where Pepco's group CEO Andy Bond has resigned on the back of health issues. The Bank of Angola says it's implementing a mobile instant transfer system for the financial system that will raise the level of financial inclusion. And Caledonia Mining says it's planning a further investment in Zimbabwe and paying about 0.14 cents as dividend to shareholders. An extensive interview I had yesterday evening on television with one of the economists in South Africa talking about about Zimbabwe trying to look into the problem of Eskom in South Africa and how Zimbabwe is looking for additional energy sources to cut back on the country's nearly 50% decline in energy sustainability, looking at Mozambique and a few other sources, as well as the Zambezi River, to get Zimbabwe's energy up and running. Outlook from President Emerson Mnangagwa was that the economy for this year will grow 5.5%, and he says this is a year of economic growth for Zimbabwe. And AFDB has granted Mozambique about $47 million for special agro-industrial processing zone, despite the Tigray crisis in Ethiopia. The Horn of Africa's main economy is moving on agriculture, agro-processing, agro-allied industry. And that's thumbs up. Let's finish off in North Africa, where Egypt is supporting on Eastern Christmas holiday today. It's a bit of a whole different culture, the Christian community in Egypt, but today that is what we call the Eastern Christmas holiday today for the Egyptian market. And the central bank in Egypt says it's received 33 bids worth about $1.037 billion for Treasury bills auction, which is happening on Tuesday. Then you've got global size. That was Wednesday, yesterday, by the way. Thank you. Today is a public holiday for Thursday in Egypt. The global size of Islamic banking is expected to hit about $3.7 trillion by the end of 2022. That is a very big figure. And Morocco is looking at economic growth at about 2.8% in the first quarter of 2022, ending the month of March. And finally, Tunisia is reporting average money market rate stable at about 6.25% for the month of December. That's a wrap-up of the year 2021. And that's about it for this morning. We thank you for watching. You can watch this show again if you go on our YouTube, Frontier Africa Report. Subscribe. It is free. Go online on www.frontierafricareport.com. You can read our stories. You can watch our videos as well as other stories and other materials you can grab there about the African business, economy, and markets. Follow us on the social media, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, as well as Facebook. You'll be glad you did. I am Boston Amafai. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.